Welcome to the Project Management Institute's Spotlight Series. Let's beam our spotlight on identifying project risks. You are the project manager of a new project, and you are already aware of some obvious risks. But how can you uncover hidden risks? How can you be sure that you have done a thorough job of identifying potential problems? You may feel that the best way to identify risks within a project is to call upon past experience. But even if you are a new project manager without that wisdom, there are many categories of risks that are common to all projects. Let's take a look. The first category of risk to consider is the project scope. If you have a well-defined scope document, you have already taken a huge step to mitigate risk. You should consider things that could go wrong if there are changes to what is written or not written in the scope statement. Examples of risks in this category could include poorly defined business requirements or changes to scope by business stakeholders. Now that you've examined the project scope, you should take a look at all the elements you need to complete the project. One of those categories is equipment. Specifically, the equipment needed to complete the work, not equipment that is a deliverable of the project. Examples of equipment might be computer hardware, heavy machinery, or specialty tools. Ask yourself what would happen if the equipment isn't available, an order is delayed, or if the equipment breaks down. Could it be easily replaced? Equipment isn't the only thing you'll need to complete your project. If you have tasks that are dependent on computer software, you'll need to consider the technology risks. You should look at purchased software packages, line of business software, and database software. Does the project require an update to the software, training for staff, or an installation plan? What would happen if the update failed, the training was not available, or installation required unseen hardware upgrades? After you've assessed the technology, you should determine if there is existing data to be used in the project. Does the existing data need to be converted to a new system? Do you have the solution, or do you need to find a solution during the project? If the existing data is in a proprietary format and there is no known solution, it may pose a high risk. Now that you've assessed the equipment, technology, and data needs, you are ready to think about risks related to the people on the project. Do you have a team member with special knowledge that would be difficult to replace? Do you have new people who need time to ramp up? Are there motivation issues in the current staff? After thinking about risks you've identified so far and the people on your team, you should turn your attention to the schedule. How were the estimates made? Were they based on input from experienced team members, or were they guesses? Is there special risk by missing a deadline, such as not beating a competitor to market? Will the risks you have identified require additional time to mitigate? So, now that you have examined the schedule, you should determine what risks there might be to the budget. Is the budget determined by a contract that cannot be changed? Do certain milestones need to be met for funding to continue? Even if your budget is determined by a hard business decision, a limited budget isn't necessarily a bad thing. As a project manager, minimizing risk and learning to make the most of your resources are key. And that's how to account for potential liabilities to your plan. Thanks for using the PMI's Spotlight on Identifying Project Risks. For more information about the Project Management Institute's certifications, membership, and services, visit our website at www.pmi.org.